Good morning and welcome to today's YOU Bijou Zentangle practice. Let's begin with gratitude and appreciation. I am going to put my hands on my knees. I think I'm going to put my palms face up today with an intention of being open to receive guidance, receive healing, receive divine connection. And then setting any intentions that go along with this gratitude. I'm grateful for the practice today. I'm grateful for those of you watching and following along. And I appreciate this time that I create for myself to do this practice and the intentions that make it sacred. Okay, so today I'm using a bijou tile as usual, and also the Micron 01 black Sakura pen, and then I have a tortillon and a pencil. I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to set everything aside, turn my bijou over, and then starting with the pencil, we are going to create those corner dots. So just placing dots in the corners of this tile. And then once I have the four dots down, we will create a border. Just connecting these lines, these dots with lines with my pencil to start with today. Ooh, made it a little curvy. Like that. And then I'm going to pick up my pen. And the tangle we're going to do is called Florz. And I think I'm going to make like a big one a little bit off center, and then we'll do a smaller version inside. So this might feel a little bit off, but I think it might look kind of cool. So this is my idea for drawing Florz, which is a really simple tangle, and I think it was one of their first. So I'm just drawing two lines about the same width across on vertical and then horizontal. And then at where they intersect, we're gonna create a little diamond. And when I think about this tangle today, I'm thinking about boundaries, I'm thinking about connection, and I'm thinking about the importance of both and being really intentional and mindful about who that might be. Who might those people be that you have boundaries with, and who might those people be that when you come together, it's truly a gem experience. So now I'm going to I'm going to leave these spaces as they are, and I'm going to draw a more traditional version of Florz in this square that we have here. So Florz is a grid tangle. So I'm making mine pretty close together, which means there's going to be a lot of these diamonds to make. You don't have to do it this way. You can make them a little bit, not quite so close together, make them further apart. To do this going this way, I'm actually going to start in the middle, and then I'm going to work both ways, left and right. And so this is going to create so many diamond shapes. And here's the thing, if you are not feeling the diamonds, you could put a heart there, you could put a circle there, you could put just a dot there, but traditionally Florz is these diamond shapes. So I'm going to, in each one of these things, and I invite you to enjoy this process and to not think of it as, oh my gosh, how many do I have to do? This feels tedious. I used to think that about tangles that had a lot of filling in, or anything repetitive that required a lot of filling in. I used to feel like it was tedious, and the more I tangle, the less I feel that way. So I'm just creating these diamond shapes. I'm recording this early in the morning, and I'm feeling like I'm not quite awake yet, and my eyes are not quite adjusted yet. And I am noticing that I'm finding myself needing to, or inviting myself to resist the urge to judge. And this practice is actually one that helped me with changing my relationship to control, changing my perfectionism, and really just allowing things to unfold. And I find that a beautiful thing, a beautiful result of this practice that invites me to slow down, invites me to be creative, and invites me to surrender to like the process and not having a strong attachment to the outcome. I'm really just playing with the Tangle Florz today. And I'm not too terribly concerned that my lines are straight. I'm not too terribly concerned that my diamonds are all the same shape or size. I'm not really thinking about any of that. You can tell I'm starting to get into my Zen state because I'm losing my words. So I'm just going to keep going with these diamonds for a little bit. I invite you to light a candle, play some music when you do these bijou tiles with me. Find what brings in a lovely environment for you. It's not just about the tangling in the tile, it's about the practice. Is it sacred? Does it bring you calm? Do you lean into the unknown, to the surrender? Do you embrace the process? As I'm coloring in this last diamond, I'm feeling like in these areas where it's a full square, let's put the diamond in. The half diamond, the triangle. To complete this tangle. And then I have an idea for these edge little sort of bands that we have that is not part of the Tangle Florz, but might be a fun way to add some curves to this tile that is very grid-like. And really adding these triangles on the edges does finish it off. It feels more complete as I'm doing these. Let's see, that's not a full one, that's not quite a full one, this feels full. Okay, so we have all of our diamonds there. I don't normally draw them that close together, but today I was called to draw them that close together. So on these lines here that are sort of just like open, because we drew kind of one sort of floors to kind of hang on to things, I think I'm going to draw some like S-shaped curves. I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to draw a curve around and then curve around and then color that in. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap in the middle as like a little highlight. So we can draw more of these curves and kind of curve around and out and connect it in, leaving that highlight. This is just an embellishment, like I'm saying. This is not part of Florz, but I'm feeling like I want to add these little ribbons to just add a little bit of I don't know what, I guess curves to the very grid-like tile. These little S-shaped kind of banner things are things that I tend to add to tiles occasionally. I like the way they look, and I like how it just adds a little bit of, I don't know, fancy maybe? Is fancy the word I'm looking for? Maybe it adds a little fancy to the tile. I'm going to leave this one open. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do there. I might actually aura, but for right now, I just want to continue the S banners here. My creaky chair. So part of my experience, I don't know if you can hear my creaky chair, but part of my experience when I tangle is I have this background is a scarf that I bought in Thailand. So that has a special place in my heart. The chair I'm sitting on was my grandmother's chair. That has a special place in my heart. I often will burn some incense that I also got in Thailand, which brings me back to a place that I love, and have a candle burning. Sometimes when I'm doing my practice without recording, I'll have music playing. Often I like it quiet, but create a space that has some meaning to you and allow this practice to become yours with layers of how it brings you joy. So that feels good. I have 3 little sort of ribbons on the edges here. And then in this right here, I feel like I'm going to draw an orb, like a black pearl, an orb with a little highlight on it. I don't really know why I'm thinking that, but that's what's coming in. Actually, that would be a good place for my chop. Just kidding. We're not going to draw an orb. We're going to draw, I'm going to aura these two like this. And then that is where I'm going to put my chop. And so I'm going to leave that alone right now. We're going to move into shading. I am not going to shade the floors. I made my squares pretty small, and I feel like if I start shading in there, it's going to get really messy. But I do want to shade these pillars because I want to show you how they can look a little more rounded. So I'm going to go just on the edge, and you'll notice I have the point of my pencil toward that edge. And I want it to be that way. I'm not shading in the square there. Just shading along the edge of this pillar that we have. And then I want to leave that highlight where I have sort of those highlights on my ribbons. So I'm going to keep my tortillon pretty close to the edge. And then turn my tile. I didn't put any graphite there because I figured I would have enough graphite on my tortillon, and I do. So you can see how that changes, like this one versus this one. Looks a little different. So we're going to do that same thing on this side. You could add the white chalk highlight there if you wanted to, but with the highlights with the ink, I don't think that's needed. So I'm going to leave it alone. And again, just darkening up this line. And then taking my tortillon. Turning my tile. I I will show you one thing on the Florz, because if you drew bigger Florz, sometimes a fun shading thing you could do is just pick, let's see, where am I going to do this? I think this is going to be this way. I think I like it that way. If you want to pick, so I'm going to use this square because it's bigger, just one side of all of the diamonds that you drew and just draw like a little shadow on each side, or on that same side all the way on the whole tile. You can do that. I'm just going to do it in this one row here, one diagonal row, and do that. You could do that in every thing. I'm going to turn my tile to the side a little bit so you can see. So that is shading. Then we have our chop, our initial and sign. Oh, I actually want to do the edge here. The penciled edge, I want to kind of smudge that out with the tortillon a bit, just on these two sides. And then in that little square where I'm going to draw my chop. So you can see Florz is a very simple grid tangle that you can be way more precise with if you choose than I did today. I kind of like it looking a little not perfect, I guess I'll say it that way. But sometimes when I draw it, it's very structured. What I don't do is grab a ruler and make everything perfect. I really have, I've resisted that that tendency since I started tangling in 2016. And I feel like that's been part of my releasing of some of the perfectionism and self-judgment or criticism that I tended to have. So, and still can tend to have. So I'm using this practice on so many different levels, and I really appreciate it. So what it's teaching me and what it has taught me and what it continues to teach me. So I'm going to put my chop on this, in this little M, and I'm going to fill up most of it. This is going to be a big chop on this tile. I'm going to use the square as it is. I'm going to cross my A's. I'm going to dangle the heart so that it goes underneath and comes off. Maybe today I'm going to put little feet on my bottoms and tops of my M, like that. And then on the other side we will sign, date. We'll write the name of the tangle, Florz, and then B, YOU Bijou. That's our tangle for today. So our last step is to appreciate. Appreciate again. I hope you enjoyed this time with me. I appreciate you joining me. I'm going to take a moment and just sit and listen and offer gratitude. Perhaps there's messages that come in. I'm just feeling very calm. I'm feeling actually like a warmness of compassion in my heart. And I'm really grateful that you have decided to join me today. Have a great day. Bye.